Do I hate men? No.
That's a lie.
All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to the first She's Single Media in collaboration with Kicking It with Kenya. We are joined here today by the beautiful, hardworking, talented, entertaining Claudia Jordan.
Hi, Kenya. How are you?
I'm so fine. How are you today?
I'm good, running around, just trying to stay busy, and yeah, I mean, that's a blessing. So I can't really complain about that.
Yes, it is, especially during these times, right?
Exactly. That's facts.
Yeah, I just have to ask you this question as a newcomer breaking into media. And I know you've been interviewing people for quite some time. Was there ever anyone that made you nervous before you met them?
Let me think. I don't know about nervous because I don't get that nervous about things, but some people may be uncomfortable or let me just say this, they were difficult to interview. Oh, because they just like unpredictable. Erykah Badu was like an odd interview. She's just so interesting and different and just otherworldly. I'm like, am I going to be good enough for her? Like kind of get something out of her. And sometimes I can definitely go through that. I've had Monique on the show and her husband, and she was dropping a lot of like tea about the industry. She's had public beefs with Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels, but it meant a lot to me that she said, I only want to do the interview with you. I trust you. And I'm like, what? And then after that interview, Tyler Perry called me and he watched it. And he told me his side of the story. And it was just like, that was super amazing. Timbaland was a difficult interview for me. He gives one word answers, but I think because sometimes these guys that are just super brilliant in music, they may not be the most social. Maybe they got other things on their mind. But I remember being a youngster, like a newbie, like, I don't know what else to ask him,
Oh my God, you spoke to Tyler Perry.
I did. He called me. He called around Atlanta. He found someone that had my number. He wanted to talk to me and tell me his side of the story. And we had an amazing conversation. We were on the phone for 45 minutes. And I said, I'd love to interview him on my platform one day. And he said, okay. So, Tyler Perry, you owe me an interview.
That is beautiful. He's like upper echelon type of Black elite.
Legendary. I mean, the what he's done with his career to go from, these, people want to criticize and call it Chitlin circuit plays. But you know what? I don't consider that Chitlin circuit at all. I consider that laying down his foundation, laying down the groundwork to, he knew he had a bigger plan and he started with that, built up a very loyal fan base that they could reach out and touch him and meet him and see him after the plays. He has a loyal fan base, and that's why he's like such a huge success story.
Oh my God. And I'm gonna obviously touch on what you said about how when you said Monique trusts you, I'm gonna get into that in another question. Mm-hmm. So right now, currently, you now have a few shows on Fox Soul, and I know you have Cocktails with Queens, TGIF, and Out Loud. Can you explain the network and for those who might not know what the origin is?
Sure. So I was in LA just trying out for some other show, and Mike Hill, who's Mike Hill, he's with Cynthia Bailey, her husband. He's a good friend of mine. He saw that I was in LA and he said, hey, can you fill in for me? I have to go to Atlanta and film some stuff. I was like, all right, cool. And it was supposed to be 2 days. 2 days led to 3 days. And by that Friday night, I was saying my goodbyes to everybody. I filled in as a host. And James DeBose, our head of programming, head of the network, he came to me and he said, hey, need you back here on Monday. I said, but I don't live here anymore. I live in Dallas. He said, figure it out. I said, oh, damn. I guess I got to figure it out. So for like 4 months, I was going back and forth from Dallas to LA every week, sometimes twice a week. I go back and forth because my life is still here. My boyfriend, my house, my cats. So I just, did what I had to do. And it was a streaming platform. And, we weren't making a ton of noise, but, some people, on some people's radars. And I'm very proud to say that, I know my shows have been successful there, and I grew from 1 show to 3. I'm back down to 2 now. The network went from 200,000 viewers to now we've had 45 million views in the course of a year and change. And that is a humongous growth, over 4,700% growth. And I'm very proud to be a part of that. So it's streaming, but you can find it on your smart TVs. You can go on your television, go to YouTube, go to, Tubi and Roku and all those streaming platforms. So it's pretty dope. And it's interactive, it's live. So, there's no editing on that. It is what it is. You say what you say, that's it. It's out there, which I love.
I love that. And I it's funny how you're saying we weren't making a lot of noise, but actually you guys kind of are. I mean, I see, especially Cocktails with Queens, I've definitely seen you guys on like Shade Room and things like that. Like this show by far is like, it's one that I wasn't expecting. So it's like it's Selena Johnson, it's Lisa Ray, it's my big sis in my head, Vivica Fox.
Yeah.
And I just need to know, how did this show even come to be? This Ensemble Women is a group I would have never guessed.
So yeah, I meant we were making a lot of noise in the beginning, but absolutely now with Cocktails, 1000%. So what happened was I had a show called Out Loud with Claudia Jordan. It was me just, one-on-one interviewing people, or sometimes I have a panel. And I told producers that I'm friends with Vivica Fox. So she was supposed to be our guest. But then my producer, Justin Hart, wanted to make it a theme night and add Lisa Ray and Selena Johnson. So it was kind of like a collaboration. So now it's all four of us. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. So, it's supposed to be just girlfriends having drinks and shooting the shit over some hot topics on a Monday night over some drinks. I didn't really know Selena like that. I met her before, but it was just magic the first day out the gate. So I had a list of topics I want to get through. We had so much fun. It went by so fast. I didn't get to half the topics. So immediately after the show, I contacted my producer. I said, hey, we need to have them back next week. Can we run this back? They were like, all right. They were open to it. I called Vivica and I'm like, Viv, I hit her up. I'm like, I need you back. She's like, girlfriend, we got 2 million hits on your show. I have a podcast. I'm trying to do those kind of numbers over here. So she basically was like, we got to make it happen. So I went back to producers and I asked, we got to, offer them some money and get them to come back. And they agreed to it. So I remember a conversation with the producer saying, are you sure you want to share? This is your show and you'd be giving this up. It would now be, the four of you. And I said, I'm a team player. And if it's a show, a product that I could do that's better or more exciting than just me by myself, I'm all for it. I don't need to be like front and center on everything and just me. And they were like, wow, okay. Like I'm open to share. And I'm glad that happened. And it grew from a 6-week test to 12 weeks to 24 weeks. And now we're, over a year in. And that show, again, like you said, the Shade Room, we're always trending. Someone's going to say something that's going to ruffle some feathers. And I love that even though everyone's a celebrity on the show, they're not acting like, oh, I can't say that. I can't answer that question. My publicist won't allow me. It's real talk. It's not those fake, crafted, boring ass answers like we're in a beauty pageant and we got to say, I want to save the world and give everybody a puppy. Nah, man, she's a bitch. I don't like him. He's whack. He's a fuck boy. I fucked up. I had a one-night stand. I didn't have a one-night stand. I cheated. Whatever. It's very real. And these women are sharing things that they really did in their lives. And I love that.
I 100% agree. Honestly, when I tuned into your show, I was like, this is literally what's missing when it comes to the honesty and the conversation among women. And it's crazy. I said I would have never guessed this group of women to come together, but when you see it in action, it makes sense. And it literally is something that is, like you said, it's not crafty, it's natural. I really feel like this is something that I feel like I'm really a fly on the wall in a conversation that would just naturally happen if y'all were in the house.
Exactly. And I like, it's very organic, because we don't practice anything and, no one's crafting their answers before they get, the questions. Sometimes they don't even know what I'm going to ask or where the conversation's going to go. They get sometimes a rundown of the topics, but a lot of times they're getting it, on the spot, on the fly and reacting to it. So that's way more real instead of just having like, I'm going to say this and you say that. No, it's not like that. And anything goes. And, we've had, I don't know if you saw the show with the Brat and Lisa Ray, and that just went all the way left. It was a very emotional show. And like, it was a lot of real raw feelings on that show. Like Lisa Ray was upset. The Brat was embarrassed. We were feeling some kind of way about getting cussed out by Lisa Ray. Then the next week she apologized to us. It's real, but that's it. That's how it really happened, and I like that. I like it.
It's just crazy how I like after seeing it, like live and seeing how you guys work, how it was never a thought to have a Lisa Ray or a Vivica or a Selena Johnson even on a talk show. Like, so many talk shows have been popping up, and it's crazy because, you know, like you said, all of you have had experiences for years. And
So,
continue.
I was just gonna say, Selena was on Sister Circle.
She was, yes, she was.
And then Vivica had a show. It was called, I think, To Tell the Truth, or it was something about lying. But like, as far as like a panel show like this, yeah, it's unique and it's different. And yeah, you're right. Like, no one thought to do that. And I'm real proud to say that I'm a part of that. And also TGIF. That's my baby that I put together from the casting, from everything, every aspect of it except the name. I put those guys together, and people like living for that show as well.
That's what Funky Dineva.
Yeah.
I like him.
He is, you know what? He's wild. And, he's talked about me before we became friends. And I remember being like, he don't even know me. And now I'm doing a show with him. And I see, he speaks from his gut and what he thinks, what he feels. But he's also very smart. Yes. He makes a lot of valid points. And he's not always right. None of us are. But a lot of times he gets it right. And then Al Reynolds, I've been proud about that because a lot of people only knew Al Reynolds as he was married to Star Jones and what was up with him, and they're getting to see him in a different light that they never saw him before. And now he's becoming like a fan favorite. Like, people are really living for his educated takes on things. He is long-winded, but we love Al. I like to call him thorough.
I think that balance is needed, though. I mean, you got Funky Dineva here, and then you have Al. I feel like, and then you have you. I think that trifecta really makes sense. I think it really helps. And like, talking about your shows, so you guys with Cocktails with Queens and TGIF, you all are very opinionated. And obviously, combined with all of you guys at Cocktails with Queens, you guys have worked with plenty of people, and you have extensive really good relationships. How do you guys balance that with what you do? Like, do you have to give somebody a phone call, like, heads up? Or is the relationships just okay?
It got tricky for me a couple of times because obviously, like you said, there's always going to be someone who knows, is friends with, had a relationship with. I remember before when Kenya's name got brought up, she was like, I just don't want my name brought up at all. And then now we're at a place where Vivica and Kenya are in a good place. Actually, Kenya's supposed to come on the show one day, and they're going to like squash it on air.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like that's a thing. And Kenya put out an apology, and then Vivica said she accepts. And so I think that would be a great moment. I just feel like Black women, we need to see more examples of, you could be mad at someone, you could read someone down, you could have a beef with someone, but at some point you're going to have to let it go, not for them, but really for you. So you're not just like lifelong beef with someone, unless they did something that's so unforgivable where it's like, okay, never. But, some of these things are more surface. They're like, I won't say silly, but it ain't as deep to have a lifelong beef. And if we haven't learned anything else from COVID and, how quickly we can lose loved ones. I mean, I lost my cousin who I never thought he'd be, dead in his early 50s, and just like here today, gone tomorrow, literally. And everybody wants to say these nice things about people once they're gone. But how about we try that when they're alive? How about we try saying, you know what? I was mad at you over this stupid boy or this dumb reality show or whatever, but I don't hate you. I don't hate you. We missing out on a lot of bags we could be making together, a lot of peace. And as I get older, peace is so damn important to me. Like I hate that feeling of that, when you get a knot in your stomach when you walk into a party, you're like, ooh, there's that bitch I don't like.
Yes, definitely.
But act like you're happy and you're having fun, but really you feel mad, uncomfortable. Like, I hate that feeling, So kudos to them. We're gonna bring that to you maybe this summer.
I truly will be tuning in because, like I said, Viv is like a big sister in my head. She don't know me, and I am a Kenya Moore fan. And like, to have that, I was like, I'm torn as a fan.
Girl, try being friends with them both. Being in the middle of that bullshit, I hated that. Like, I hated it. Like, I'm always like trying to be a peacemaker, to my detriment. Like, if like I said, if it's not something that's like, you killed someone, you raped someone, like something that's like totally unforgivable.
Exactly.
If I can try to make it balance out, we can get to a place of coolness. I would love to help, assist in any way I can.
Yeah, and that's like you said, being friends. And I guess that's the thing when it comes to like when you see celebrity beefs, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, I'm just looking at it like I like these two people, but also these are people, and these dynamics are literally actively affecting those around them as well. So to showcase something like that, them two actually mending conversations, I feel like that is a good topic to show so women could also get out their own way and do the same.
You know, you make a great point. Getting out of your own way, like you don't know what kind of deals you could do with that person, or just, and even taking money out of it, like just your own personal peace. Yeah. Like I said, and I got a few people that I got some beef with that, it needs to be squashed, but I'm open to it. I'm pretty much open to all of them. Like, hey, let's sit down. Like me and Tamar Braxton had a thing. It was a weird thing. I always felt it was a one-sided beef. Like she had a thing with me, and she ended up coming on Out Loud with Claudia Jordan, and we sat down and we talked.
I did see that.
Did we go over every little thing? No. Did I really get into everything that she did? No. But at some point, you're never gonna really squash if you go, but you did this, and you gotta let some of that go. And it feels so much better to be like, okay, if I see her out, it's not going to be that weird thing. I'm cool with all your sisters. Your sisters love me. I talk to them, and then not to be cool with you. So like, if I can just encourage anyone watching this, if it's something that, again, is not end of the world's beef, if you can find a way to like, kind of like, even just get to a place where y'all cool. You don't got to be besties, but just be like, all right, you just aging yourself. You bring in stress. It really hurts you. The other person, how will you be knowing that it'd be one-sided beefs half the time? Like they're like, oh, I didn't know we even had a thing. So sisters, brothers, we already died younger than the white folks. We already have heart disease and stress and diabetes and high blood pressure and police. If we can take one thing off the table that can give us a better quality of life, why not do it?
I 100% agree with you. And I really am looking forward to these reparative conversations that you guys are, because I mean, you also touch on family, like you said, touch point with Lisa Ray and the Brat. So I feel like these reparative conversations, and whether we want to believe it or not, we do look up to celebrities, and a lot of times when they follow suit, we tend to trickle that into our own lives. So it's going to be really good to see that, because that's been years.
Girl, it happened. I was right in the middle of it. Vivica was in New York doing Celebrity Apprentice. I had done the show 2 times already, and I was friends with Donald Trump at the time, not anymore. And so I was like, yo, girl, I got you. Any kind of tips you need, like, let's, So we would meet up every Sunday and have brunch. That was her one day off. And then when the whole thing happened with the phone and Kenya, and I'm friends with Kenya too, I was like, I'm trying to tell Viv, I don't think she really did that. Then I'm like, well, maybe reality TV did it. Producers took the phone to kind of get a beef. At the end of the day, I think we'll never get anywhere if we go tit for tat over the details. But like, it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. We almost didn't make it as friends, me and Vivica, because she was mad about that. And she was mad when I did Celebrity Housewives. I think she felt like, that was a little bit of a betrayal. But I'm like, well, I know both of you. And so it means so much to me that Vivica is open to moving forward, and Kenya was big enough to say, you know what? I said some horrible things. I'm going to take responsibility for that. Because like, it's ugly, and it's too many young Black girls looking up at these women that see this. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? And we look up to these women, and like, I just want to see queen. I want to see queen behavior. And I'm proud to say that they're both doing it now.
That's good.
They are.
Yeah. I'm really happy for that, and I hope. And so, in other topics that you are getting ready to discuss in the future, what are some topics you are like dying to talk about? Like, what do you think we don't talk enough about?
I think we need to encourage our women to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to love. I think we got it wrong. Everyone can't be just holding out for the baller, rich dude that, is all the way up here. Everyone's fighting for that same guy. And a lot of us will end up never getting married, never having a relationship, or sharing a man if we don't expand our horizons about what is a good man to us, and get back to giving props to people for their character. And that goes with men and women. I'm so sick of the surface bullshit. Like, I'm so sick of women being valued because she got a fat ass, small waist, and big titties. Okay, because so she went to the Dominican Republic to go get that and lay down someone's table to be deemed good enough for this man. And I'm like, we just got to go back to like looking inward. And I know that sounds corny and like a pageant answer, but I get tired of it. It's putting such a, girl, when I tell you, Kenya, when it puts such a bad example out there. Me and my friend Aisha were out in St. Thomas, right? We're on the beach. We like love the beach. And we see these two beautiful Black girls. They were like maybe 4 years old. They had not diapers, but maybe some pull-ups or big bottoms. They had stuffed their butts with all this sand to look like they had huge butts, and they were like twerking on the beach. These girls were 5 years old. They didn't just make that up. That's from what they see on TV. It was so sad. So we like, first I laughed and I go, this ain't funny. This is actually kind of tragic. And we were like, this is sad. They think they need to do this. But if you keep seeing, like, I have a natural butt, and this is no shade or anything to people who decide to get surgery. I have to make the disclaimer. But it almost is like, if you don't get on board with that, you're almost looked at as like, you're not enough. Like, I have people tell me, when you gonna get your ass done? I'm like, never. Why is my real butt not, like, why is that not good enough? And it's getting to a point where it's like, if you don't go that route, like I can't imagine how women that are not in the business or don't have the means to pay for these surgeries, they must feel some inadequate looking at these unrealistic images all the time. I like to have those kind of discussions. I really do. Inward beauty and just, you know, I don't know. I think we got to be more responsible with what we put out there. You know,
I feel like people in my generation, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I feel like we had people like Aaliyah, Left Eye, to hold on to. You know, I'm more concerned about the ones that came after me when it comes to body image.
What are you in? Are you in your 20s?
I'm 29.
20, yeah. In my generation too, like the women that we would look up to they were natural beauties. They were the Nia Longs, the Halle Berrys, the Vivicas, those women who we were like, wow, they're beautiful. Garcelle Bouvet, all these women that were just like, they were just beautiful and pretty and natural. And now we're at this place where natural is almost like boring to some of these people, which is ridiculous. It's so dumb. Like now it's like something's wrong with you if you don't get your lips done. I'm like, I know I got no top lip, okay?
Not the no top lip.
Trust me, I'm very aware of this. But like to make you feel like you're just not enough because you don't have an injection. And I've been so team natural, it's almost got me like, shit, do I need to get this thing shot up? You know what I'm saying? Like and it shouldn't be like that. You know,
you have nothing to work on at all. You are very beautiful.
Thank you.
Makeup
and lighting, girl. Makeup and lighting.
No, it's not makeup and lighting. I think I have seen scenes where you did not wear makeup when you were at the little stint on Real Housewives. You are a very beautiful woman.
Thank you. But there's a lot. I mean, I just feel like I actually feel like we need to start doing better and holding each other responsible and accountable as Black folks. You know, like I remember Chris Rock, he said, I love Black people, but I hate N-words, right?
Oh, yes, I remember that.
And it's a powerful thing to say, right? And it almost sounds elitist, like, what? Are you looking down your nose? But we have got to come to terms that some of us are making us look real fucked up right now.
Yeah,
right.
And I would have to agree. And honestly, that kind of leads to my other question I have for you. Okay. And so, how do you feel about how Black people are represented, Black and brown people are represented in the media? Do you think we're heading in the right direction?
Yes and no. I think there are a lot of us out here that try, but like what continues to get the numbers is the wild stuff. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, it comes down to money, right? TV production companies aren't going to put out product that y'all ain't going to watch. So if they see people supporting the more zen, classy, peaceful stuff, you're going to see nothing but that come out. They're not going to put money on stuff that doesn't make them money. But the fact is, it's human nature. We like seeing a train wreck. Mm-hmm. And sadly, a lot of times it's us. You know, like when I see certain things, I'm like, ugh, I can only control what I can control. So on my social media page, I don't put any like fights with us fighting each other or ratchet videos and none of that stuff that can make any white person look at it and go, look at them. That's how they are. I feel like, I don't want to contribute to that narrative that we're all ghetto and hood rats and classless and uneducated. I hate even when we say, oh, she talks white. She sounds white. We got to stop saying that educated or proper English is white and what black is not. Because we have, last time I checked, black women were at the head of the pack when it comes to education and businesses. So let's be clear about that, So it's like, just we do a lot of self-deprecating comments and humor to ourselves, and I just want us to like hold our heads a little higher, because we looking crazy. Some of us, I was in Vegas this weekend and I just couldn't believe, and I saw Monique's video about the bonnet.
I was just about to ask that.
and people may not like the messenger, which is crazy because she had very valid points. Like, remember in the 50s and 60s, we see images of black folks and they just be like in their Sunday's best. And just the pride, you would not allow to go outside looking crazy.
No,
I've seen so many ass cracks and bad bikini lines and raggedy lace fronts that's way back here and the glue's coming up. Like, we gotta care. We gotta care about like how we present ourselves to the world. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think.
I feel like people who didn't really register Monique's message or those who didn't grow up with like a big mama or something like that. I know in my household, even if I was to walk out with a bonnet, my grandma would be like, you can't put chapstick on. You can't,
make it cute.
Make it cute, make sure your sweatpants match your top. Get a nice cute slipper. Like, that's what she would always tell me.
And what's wrong with that? Like, why are people getting offended by that? Like, well, maybe I just want to be comfortable. You know what? I'm comfortable right now. Like, all my shit's stretchy. I don't have to iron it. You don't have to, be dressed to the nines. No one's expecting that. But I hate when I see us out there looking like that. You know why? Because I feel like white folks judge us based on that. It's almost like, can we not do it in front of company? Not to appease.
Oh my God, I'd be thinking that too. Like, why can't we keep things in-house?
Yes. Like, listen, it ain't to appease them and like impress them, but it's to show them like, we're not the stereotype that you think we are. And I feel like it makes it easier for people to judge us when they see us looking crazy out in public places. Like, I don't need to see your booty crack. I don't need to see that. And that's for the men and the women. Like, it's not even just the women anymore. Okay. It's like a lot of us.
I'm just laughing when you said booty crack. I thought it was Kenya Moore. Coochie crack.
Oh yeah, coochie crack. That was crazy. That was wild. Yeah, like I want us to do better. Like, I feel like when Barack Obama was in office, people kind of straightened up a little bit. They were like, there was pride, what I mean? Like, you see people representing their relationships, like black love. And I was like, oh, we're getting there. We're on our way. And then when Trump got in office, everybody said, fuck it.
We lost the fight.
Yeah, we tapping out.
Oh man. I have to kind of go back to what you said about Monique. And it's funny because I had literally studied you before we had this. And I love your interview style. It's very warm. It's very welcoming. It's just an inviting style. It's you talk with a very pleasant voice that I think I'm not surprised at why Monique felt like she could trust you, because you are really like a nice homegirl. Like, come here now, and I just really want to understand, like, what do you think is the biggest misconception people have of you? Because you seem really relatable.
Girl, I have these conversations all the time. I'm like, I ask my friends, I go, why don't they like me? Like, I feel like I don't cheat. I don't mess with no one's dude. I exercise girl code. I stand up for things. I have class. I try to put other people on. I really feel like, honestly, it was a combination of things. Going on reality TV and, being perceived that I'm coming for your faves, that did a number on me. Having a bitter ex put mad rumors out about me that just weren't true. And it's just like, if someone has time in a bone to pick and they just want to spend month after month after month after month for 3 years to like drag you, eventually enough people will say, I heard that about her. I heard she's like that. And then they just don't like you. They don't have a thing they can say you did. Or if you made a mistake a couple times in your life, they'll hold on to that forever. And I don't know what it is, because the person that they talk about that I see online, I'm like, that's not me though. And everybody that knows me or has even met me once says, you're nothing like what I thought. And I don't know. I don't know why that this is my burden in life, but I hope it ends soon because it does get to me. It really does. I feel like I have to work so hard to be at zero with someone, just to be at neutral. Like, I feel like the first 6 months of me meeting like a guy or whatever, I'm just like trying to convince them that I'm not this thing that is out there that is so far from the truth, you know? But I had a great reputation until about 2010. And then I didn't. And then when I got back on reality TV in 15, all those old rumors came back up. And it was like, I'm a homewrecker and I've done this. I'm like, how can y'all believe so many rumors with no receipts? Like no real receipts. Like just I heard. As many cameras as y'all ain't never caught me coming out of someone's hotel room or car or going to someone's house or getting nothing. And it's just like, it's a fairy tale. It really is. And it really has helped to keep me down. I feel like I should be so much further along. I really do. And I wish I had a time machine to go back in time and just kind of like not talk to certain people, not be friends with certain people. And I think once people know that's my Achilles heel. Call me a whore, call me a, homewrecker. So when, say me and you fell out, that could be, you'd be like, well, I'll just call her, I'll just say she's a hoe. You know what I mean? Like it's a pile-on thing that they do to me. Like anyone that's been close to me, if we fall out over something that's, stupid or whatever, they just jump on that bandwagon and add credence, add credibility to those rumors. That has happened to me. I had a blogger that went in on me for years. And he wrote the worst stories about me. They were so bad that they hurt my soul to read them. I was like, oh my God, like, do you hate me? And he did this for about 3-4 years straight. And one day I just couldn't even take it anymore. I found I got someone to give me his number and I reached out and he goes, what took you so long?
Not the what.
And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you should have been reach out. I thought you would have been reach out to me.
So you were dating me?
I think he wanted me to pay him off at the time. And I said, we talked on the phone a few times. And he said, one day he finally said, I want to apologize. He goes, I'm sorry for ruining your life. He's like, you're actually a good kid. And I said, well, why did you do this? Like, why? Why did you do this? There's never a retraction. Never. And he said, well, when my blog started, a few people gave me stories about you. And he said they really took off. And for some reason, whenever I wrote stories about you, they would get a lot of traction. He goes, I made a lot of money off of you. And he's laughing. I'm like this. I lost relationships, my reputation, probably a lot of opportunities, a lot of sleepless nights because of these things. And he was like, yeah, I know, but I made a lot of money off of you. And I said, wow. And then after that, he tried to kind of like be in my life as a friend a little bit, but it was just, I couldn't trust him. I looked at him as the devil. Like, then he told me that 2 of my exes contacted him to take me out. And one of them wanted me to be to the point of suicide.
That's disgusting.
And I said, so you were okay with it? He goes, well, he paid me. And they both were mad that you weren't in their lives anymore. And I go, can't they just let me just be? Like, do you have to destroy me? And it made me feel better in a way that, okay, it wasn't just a bunch of people saying this. You got this from people who were bitter, but damn, like, I just want people to just take a little bit of, like, when they read stories about these people, take them with a very big grain of salt, because it can literally be someone that is mad at you for not being their friend anymore, for breaking up with them, for exposing them for something that they did. They can literally ruin your life with social media if they have the time. So yeah, that was very painful. And I've never had a retraction. All the fake stories about me, the people that put out that I had an affair with Tom Jordan, I broke up his marriage. I had his wife on my radio show. She cleared all that up and said it never happened, guys. You guys got it totally wrong. Not one blog ever picked it up. They try to say I broke up Michael Jai White's marriage. I had him on my radio show. I put a picture of him and his wife at the time. And they were like, it's all good. She's like my little sister. No one ever corrected that. They said I was a whore, a homewrecker, or this or that. They never go back and clean it up. And that is so hurtful, because the very people that I fight the hardest for, which are Black women, are on these blogs commenting, trashing me. And it's like, it's a very complicated relationship I have with like my sisters, where I'm like, I love y'all. And I just want y'all to give me like a little grace, and just like, you know how it feels to be trashed. You know how it feels to be a Black woman, how we get less money than the men. We get treated jacked up by the men, and then the white man and the white woman. And all the people that we gotta like be twice as good as, like, y'all should know more than anyone. Like, not to be so quick to believe all that shit about each other, because that's the one thing you don't need any proof of. When you want to trash a woman, call her a whore, call her a homewrecker. Nobody ever asks you, well, how do you know that? Where's the receipts? They just go, pretty girl, seen her in some pictures with guys, not doing anything, just standing next to him, gotta be true. And I think that's horrible. I really do.
That really, you know, it's sad because a lot of people operate from the place of, I'd rather say sorry than ask permission, but they don't understand the impact that has on other people.
Girl, I was really going crazy at one point. Like, it was really controlling my life. It was ruling my life. I would get up and look at stuff, and I would be like, I would literally have panic attacks, stomach aches. I thought I had an ulcer, because I'm like, I went from having this great rep to not. And I'm like, because of a breakup? And I know who did it, you know, because like people told me that, like, I've been in rooms where he's like saying he's going to destroy you. And I'm like, over a breakup? A breakup where I didn't cheat, you did, you know? And it's just like, it followed me for years. And the more my profile grew, the more people Google you, and they'll go dig and find old stuff and be like, haha, we got something, you know? And I need people to stop doing that too. Let people grow up, you know?
It's that toxic mentality. Or sometimes some people can't believe somebody could be so genuine. And I mean, I don't know you personally. Obviously, I'm going off what I've seen on like the shows, and I always just felt like you were a girl who was just like, I'm over here. This is my lane. So I feel like, you know, a lot of people don't like that somebody could be so comfortable in their lane. They're like, wait, no, you should be down here with me.
I've never really been part of the clique either. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that goes all the way back to like high school. I've always been kind of like, you know, I'll do me. I'm totally fine being solo and just like standing up for something that I believe in, you know, and not going with the flow. Like all the bullshit that happens in Hollywood, and you slept with him to get that. And okay, well, let me just take my top off for this audition. Although I know it just to appease the dirt. I don't do none of that shit. Yeah. And I'm very vocal, and people know that I will drop dime and call your ass out if you try to do some slimy shit to me. So maybe I make people uncomfortable with that. I don't know. But I would think more of our sisters and brothers should be on board with someone like me, because I'm a protector for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm calling them out to protect y'all, you know? So I don't really know, girl. I'd be like, does the Illuminati hate me? Did I piss somebody off?
Not Illuminati.
I'm like, God damn, because I'm shit. It is weird, though.
It's very weird. But I do feel like, to be positive, I seen that you are on a new network, and even you have said the network has grown in views. I know you said you had a good reputation until, but I feel like you're on a cusp of something bigger. And I feel like all of that respect is going to come now on this new network. I mean, this is just my guess, but I just feel like you are receiving the flowers. And if you haven't gotten them, I'm gonna give you that, girl, because like I said, I am going to steal your technique in interview, because it's impeccable. And how
you're good. You come out very like we cool already.
Oh my God.
That's a good thing to do, because that's, you know, you being like that though is gonna make people like open up. That's what makes people want to talk to you, right? They feel like, oh, we just talking. That it's not an interview, and that's You're doing it. You're doing it.
I appreciate that coming from you. You don't even have no idea. So wait, sorry. Not about
funny me. You said that. It's funny you said that though, because my friend Trey, his mom, she's the pastor's wife, preacher's wife, and she gets visions and messages from God all the time. She told me the same thing. She said all that disrespect and negative stuff's gonna go away. She's like, you're gonna have such a bigger platform. And I will say, I look at all the comments on YouTube whenever I do shows, because I just want to see the feedback from the fans and make sure I'm giving them what they want. And they were people that said, I hated her in Housewives, but I love her here. And I'm like,
I hate you.
I don't know why.
I
Some
felt
people
like
think
you
I
was just
was
no nonsense. Like, not.
Yeah.
I just feel like you wasn't playing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think you were playing the behind the scenes games.
No, I wasn't.
And I feel like you were just saying what it is. I didn't hate your personality. It was nothing really to hate.
But if you like the people that I'm getting into with, like if you're a huge Nene fan or Portia, you're thinking,
but I'm biased.
People think that like, oh, you were brought on to take them out. And I wasn't. Like, I was there to go on the free trips, honestly. It's facts. Like, I wasn't even thinking long term. I thought I was gonna do this for a season. I was only brought on as a friend. I thought I was gonna be a friend and just go on a couple trips. So I didn't have any motives. I think because y'all don't really know the behind the scenes. I was brought on as a friend of the show. That's it. I was not brought on as a housewife. So therefore I didn't have a storyline because I didn't have to. Like, they don't do storylines on the Friends, right? So I'm just like kicking it. Like, I'm just there to hang my homegirl, Kenya. I'm getting to know Cynthia, like Candy. I was cool with Portia before the show. And so when people criticize, say she didn't have no storyline, I'm like, I know. I wasn't meant to.
Friend.
Rushed and made me a housewife after the Nene showdown. And then they tried to scramble to throw something together. But yeah, I wasn't brought on with no. So my point is, when you're a friend of the show, you don't even have time to have a motive. You're just there. You're a +1. That's it.
Right.
+1. So yeah, girl, I wasn't brought in. I would never take a job to take someone out. And funny, before I did the show, and I got to give Kenya her props, she told me, do not get in beefs on my behalf. And she was like, don't take my relationships with these women and like make them your issue. She goes, get to know them and on your own, have your own relationship, develop your own opinion. And I said, that's dope of you. You could have easily been like, you coming in with me, you got to always have my, she did not say that. She said, get to know them on your own. And that was very dope of her to say that. But people wouldn't know that. All they hear is the bad stuff about her. But she totally was not trying to, first of all, she can't control me. And she didn't even try to control me. And she knows she can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can stand on my own. We good. So, yeah.
Yeah. But I have to ask you, as far as like your shows on Fox Soul, if you could describe each show you have, how would you categorize them?
Well, I don't do Out Loud anymore. That show's no longer on there, but that show was, a comfortable conversation with someone that's not going to judge you. You can kind of like tell me your flaws, your stories about things you've been through. There's no judgment zone, a safe place to like kind of just like, get things off your chest. And we've had people come out and talk about being, I think it was a Tweet, Kelly Price. They gave us some amazing stories that I didn't hear other places because they were comfortable. Cocktails with Queens is, it's having drinks with your girlfriends. You know what I mean? You ain't seen them in a couple weeks, and let's get together. Let's catch up on what's been going on. Let's keep it a buck. We call each other out if you want some bullshit. It's very real. It's very relatable. It's very fun, and it's very pro Black woman for sure. Very sisterhoodish. TGIF is. I love doing that show. That show is so fun. I love that we have two men in the LGBT community that are not there for a gimmick. They're not there because, they're not there just because they're gay or bisexual or what have you. They're there because they're dope. They're there because, Funky Dineva he's such a good perspective on things. And he's so, his intuition, the way he explains things, he's so thorough. He's funny. He's comic relief. And he also can admit when he's wrong. And he also is a shit starter. And then we have Al Reynolds, who a lot of people were judgmental of him before he got on the show. And he's getting to, show who he really is and impress people with how brilliant he is. And that show was just like, it's fun with the boys. And I actually have always loved being down with the boys, like on teams and kind of like, I'm like one of the fellas. So yeah, those shows, I enjoy doing them. They're very pro-Black, unapologetically Black. We're very supportive of us. And we need that.
We definitely do. And he had me dying when he was talking about, listen, if Instagram want to close my account one more time, then it is what it is. I got my money from YouTube.
He does. He makes a lot of money on YouTube now. So he got them new teeth. He got new cars, and he done stepped up his whole life.
I love it. He has me in tears. It's just it's just fun. And you also recently just did a show with, I hope I'm not saying his name wrong, Kinyumba. Yes, about social justice. Can you touch on that a little more?
Yeah, he asked me to host the panel. I said absolutely, and power to the people. It was amazing. I think we need more conversations with us having intelligent conversations and respectful debate. There's obviously some problems we have in our community that we need to work on, and we need to have some solidarity to fight the beast. And by the beast, I mean
systematic
racism, the justice system, how they want slavery 2.0 or Jim Crow 2.0, and they're getting it. And it was amazing. I mean, we had some technical difficulties showing the film, but it didn't even matter because the panel discussion was just so bomb. It was just like, we need more of these powwows, meetings of the minds. It's cool to have, the rowdy ratchet stuff.
Yes.
But as long as you have some balance, but we're not a monolith. We're not all the same. So yeah, we've got to, have these conversations about, we can complain, point out what the problem is, and now what? So everyone,
like that part, and now what?
Now what? Because now what is the part that needs the most energy right now? We already know there's an issue. We know there's systematic racism. We know there's injustice. We know that they don't look at us as their equals. We know this. We know there's police brutality. We know they're not going to stop shooting us in the back as we're walking away with no weapon. So what are we going to do? And lately, I've been kind of disappointed in us with all this. I'm not going to vote, and it's a waste. And we need to get more on the local levels. That's what we really need to be doing. But people don't care about the less glamorous races, and that's who really affects your day to day.
And it's really the lack of education too, right?
Facts, yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't even know about, and they don't advertise the days for you to do local elections. It's like just a sign in front of schools, and it's like, wait, what?
Well, that's for a reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't want you to know. They don't want what happened in the last election to happen again. Like, we were so powerful and wonderful and made it had to flip. Oh, racist ass Georgia.
Who?
They still mad about that.
History in the making.
And I tip my hat to Stacey Abrams. I mean, she just, the work that she did in getting like over 1 million people registered to vote. Next level. We got to care though, y'all. We got to care. We can't sit there and think it's someone else's problem. It ain't someone else's problem. It's our problem. We have to go up there. We got to stand outside in the rain sometimes. And they're going to really try it in the next election. They're going to have all these new stupid laws on their side that are meant to make us say, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to go home. I'm tired. I'm cold. I'm hungry. I've been here 8 hours, one voting machine in this whole precinct. Like, they're going to try it. And we got to be like, okay, we know you're going to try it, but we're going to try it harder.
We got to get our old ancestor motivation back.
Yeah, like I remember the first election where in South Africa, where they were finally allowed to vote, and seeing the line of Black people in line. What was it? 1990, 1991, 92? Was that when? Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name right now. I just had a brain fart. The Black man who was president of South Africa after spending 25 years in prison. It's tip of your tongue.
I was about to say Montella, but something. Gosh, I know who you're talking about.
Mandela.
Wow.
Oh, you need to edit this part. Me sound.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
no.
Let me say that again. Okay, I remember when Mandela was up for election, and the pride of all the people in that country in South Africa lining up just up a hillside to vote for this man. Like, I just got chills thinking about that. That's what we need. We need that same spirit, that same energy. Yes. They changed. I remember seeing videos from South Africa where Black people, it was a lot of violence going on there with amongst, Black folks as well. But I seen people being like with tires around them with oil in the middle of it, lit on fire, alive. Just crazy nonsense, just crazy violence and just evil things happening. And to see people say, you know what, we're going to get this together. A Black man's up for this, and they put him in office, and it was just like a beautiful sight to see. And we got to get that back to that. We can't not care. They want us to not care and think that our vote don't matter. you know? So
Yeah,
they do.
I agree. Like I said, I already predict that you're going to be a very busy woman in the next year or two.
Thank you.
What can we expect from you in the horizon?
So I don't know when I can talk about this because it's not official yet, but I just signed with a really big producer for television for reality, but it ain't gonna be the same old reality. You know, I can say it. I'm working with Carlos King, who's the king of reality, who put me on Atlanta Housewives, and I pitched a concept to him that he loves, and he actually just pitched it this week. So we're gonna find out real soon, and that is gonna put us in such a positive light. But we're gonna have drama in different ways. Like it's not really drama; it's more like life issues. I'm really proud of this project. I'm continuing to create projects for other people. That's really where is my sweet spot. I pitch a couple shows to Fox Soul, and I want to take some shows to other networks and create more content and more opportunities for more of my people. It feels so good when someone's like, man, you put me on, or thank you for the opportunity, or thank you. I would have never been able to do this. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I don't need to be on everything. I don't need to be on camera. I get great fulfillment from seeing something I put together or link some people up with, you know, and it became a project or a success story. I love seeing that. Totally fine with that. So you'll see me do more behind the scenes stuff when it comes to producing for sure. But I'll talk about it, and I'm going to be trying to create some more bags for other people. I really am.
Love it. I love the bag talk and the passing down the torch talk, especially. And it's just a testament to the person that you are. You know, if you are up at the top, you're going to send the elevator back down in the ways that you know. And like you said, just thanking people. I really have to also thank you. I was nervous. I have never interviewed somebody like a celebrity before.
Girl, it's just me. It's just me.
No, but you are a celebrity. So I mean, these are the moments where even now you're put in places to help those, and you have helped me. And I am gracious for the opportunity. And I know you are a very busy woman. I'm thankful for you to sit down with the first She's Single Media in collaboration with Kicking It with Kenya interview. I am looking forward to all of your projects moving forward. And
Yes.
like I said, manifest all of that positive energy that you're now going to get back. You worked hard for it.
Well, thank you. And you keep my information, keep me up to date on what you're up to and how I can support. And if anything comes along that I think you'd be good for, I'll let you know. But you are good and natural, and you have a great look. Like I could see, you know, Revolt. I could see any of these like people like just snatching you up, like, you know, doing these kind of interviews. You're good. You're great.
God, thank you so much. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
Put that reel together and put it on YouTube, put it somewhere so someone could see that to hire you. Okay, that's how it starts. Y'all have YouTube. We didn't really have that coming up. You have people, you can just put a video on your social media and people can say, she'd be great for what I'm doing. Let me give her some money.
I mean, that's how they found me.
See, here we go. So you're already on your way. Are you from New York?
I am. I actually live in Brooklyn.
I heard the accent. Okay, cool.
Yes, I am. I'm a New York girl.
Well, yeah, you were great. So thank you. Anytime you need me for anything, just let me know.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. I really do.
My pleasure. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I guess I'll talk to you soon. Okay, yes. You too. Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Take care.